Okay, let's start today in seated, so perhaps cross-legged or one ankle in front of the other. Just making sure that you have an ability to really ground through the sit bones. You can relax the arms, the hands, wherever they're comfortable. And then before settling in, I want you to bring awareness to the pelvis, rocking it a little backwards and forwards in space, and eventually you'll find that point where pelvis is aligned neutral to the floor. From there, you can allow the spine to grow tall, the crown of the head lifting, almost like you're leaning against something behind you, but body fully supported by itself. Closing the eyes. Bringing awareness into your lower back. So perhaps you have a little bit of discomfort there at the moment, a sense of aching or tightness. Perhaps today it feels okay, and this is more of a preventative measure. Whichever it is, just trying to drop the mind into this part of the body and question how it's feeling. And even as we sit here, noticing any tiny adjustments that can be made in the body that make your experience of sitting that much more free and easeful. And we'll start taking our awareness now to our breath. First, just notice the movement of breath in the body. And as you start to lengthen each inhale, perhaps noticing how the chest lifts, the collarbones spread open, and then as you deepen your exhales, notice how the body kind of softens down. Aware of each pattern of movement with each cycle of breath. And then start allowing this movement to grow with the breath. So as you inhale, start to send the chest further forward. Follow that natural movement of the inhale. And then as you exhale, slightly round out the back, dropping the chin, exaggerating the movement of the exhale. Inhaling again, open up, feel the face lift. Slow exhale, draw in. So it's almost like a cat-cow motion. And think about slowly increasing as you come through each cycle of breath, eventually finding your fullest range of motion here. As you come through your next inhale, allow both arms to rise with you. And as we draw the arms overhead, notice what happens in the spine. As an arch started to come into the lower back, what can you do in the front side of the body to alleviate that? And then continue to send the thumbs back. So still imagining that you have this kind of wall behind you, and even the lower back is pressing into it. And then as you take your next exhale, you can start to draw yourself forward. Keep the arms above the ears for now. Holding as far as you can slowly, and then allow the hands to release to the floor. Take an inhale and lengthen, pull the center of the chest forward. And as you exhale, fold. And don't worry too much about the depth here. It's more about lengthening out the area in the back of the body. And as we breathe, Continue to find this sense of the inhale providing space and the exhale providing softness, which doesn't necessarily equate to depth of the asana. We'll take 2 more breaths here. As you inhale, lift the head, and then walk the hands towards the right side, palms still on the floor. Again, take another inhale, draw the center of the chest forward, and as you exhale, again relax the body down. And we should start to feel a nice deep stretch along the left side of the body here. So it's important that if we're caring for the lower back, that we don't just move it in the plane of flexion and extension, forward and backward, but also giving care and love to the other motions of the spine, the other areas of the body whose tightness might be impacting what we feel elsewhere. Slowly hands back to center. And then walking them to the opposite side, taking an inhale to find more space. Exhaling as you soften into the space. Imagine this sense of the right hand and the right hip bone drawing away from one another. Allowing the rib cage to move as you inhale. And then again, slowly, let's come back to center. And as you inhale, slowly roll your way up, coming back to seated. Let's release the left fingertips to the floor now. And as you inhale, send the right fingertips towards the sky. As you exhale, imagine sending the right rib cage towards the right side of the room. So we're looking to find length in the right side of the body rather than compression in the left side. And play with how much the left elbow is bent to see how far you want to stretch. Again, imagine the ribs pulling away from one another, lots of space along the side of the body. And then as you exhale, drop the right hand towards the left knee. Inhale to lift yourself up, and as you exhale, send the left hand behind and twist. Continue to lengthen through the crown of the head. Continue to breathe steadily and evenly. Gentle twisting of the spine. Inhale, come back to center. Release the arms. Take the right fingertips beside you. Inhale, left arm all the way up. Exhale, send the ribcage towards the left. Imagine opening up the armpit and the area alongside the inside of the arm. Keep the chest spiraling open towards the sky. And breathe. And then as you exhale, left hand can release down to the opposite knee. Send the right fingertips behind you with very little weight in the right hand. So this is much about strengthening the lower back as well as releasing it. Allow your core to do the work for you rather than relying on the hands or the legs. Inhaling, gently come back to center, release. And feel the spine neutralize. Notice if you already feel a little more spacious. And then we'll come from here into tabletop. So plant the hands in front of you, roll over the knees. And as we come here, I want you to think about setting up nice and strong. So Let's take hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and then move your pelvis again a little bit in space. This will then help you to observe whether you're crunching into the low back and letting the belly sag, whether you can draw your lower abdomen in, what we call Uddiyana Bandha essentially in yoga, and whether you can press the ground away more through the hands, lifting the space between the shoulder blades. So the spine is fully supported, no collapsing through the center. Knees pressing into the ground, hands pressing into the ground, lower belly drawing in. You should already feel a little bit of warmth, perhaps, in the shoulders and arms from this. And we're going to isolate a cat-cow movement. So again, let's take our awareness into the pelvis. As you inhale, start to just arch the tailbone and the hips up. And then as you exhale, round the pelvis down. So none of the rest of the spine moving, just the pelvis tilting up and down. Good, and we'll come back to neutral. And this is more difficult, but we're going to try now with the mid-back. So imagine puffing up the space in the middle of the back and then letting the belly button drop towards the floor. Notice the impact it has at the pelvis, even though you're trying to keep that area stable. Be aware of how each section of the back moves. Coming back to center, and this time we'll do what we call scapular shrugs. So as you inhale, you're going to press the ground away more, lift the space between the shoulder blades, and as you exhale, drop the center of the chest, allow the shoulders to shrug up. Inhaling, press the space between the shoulders up. Exhaling, shrug it down. Good, and then again we'll return to neutral. And from here, we're going to send the right leg up behind us. So right leg straight, foot flexed. And then notice what's happened to the hips. Have you allowed for the right hip to lift up? Have you lost that pull in of the lower belly? Everything strong and engaged, spine in neutral, pelvis in neutral. And then bend the knee. And open the knee up to the side. Notice how my knees are kind of 90 degrees here. I'm not pressing it up or down. The ankle is in line with the knee. And as you exhale, start to close both knees towards one another. Hover the right knee off the floor. Inhale, take it back up. A few more times. Exhale to lower. Imagine inner thighs squeeze. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale. Inhale. One more time. This time hold. Straighten the leg. You should feel the right glutes turn on. This is important. The glutes are the savior of a lot of lower back pain. And then send the leg behind you, keep it straight. We'll do the same now, coming in towards the center line. So exhaling, draw the knee in towards the nose, press the ground away more. And then inhale, send the leg behind you, but straighten it, pelvis neutral. Exhale, draw the knee in. Inhale, send it away, leg engaged and strong. One more time, exhale in. Inhale, expand away, and this time as you exhale, draw the knee in and step the foot forward between the hands. Good, so you can take your time to set up, draw the front foot as far forward as you need, and then lift yourself up and immediately back way out of the stretch. So we're not doing a kind of traditional low lunge, Anjaneyasana here. Instead, we want to look for this 90 degree angle in both legs. So check out your back leg. Notice that the knee and the hip are stacked in line with the shoulders. And from there, pull in your lower belly. Engage your glutes by squeezing your butt. And then gently send the hips forward. And you'll notice that you don't need very much movement at all to start to feel a stretch in your left hip flexor, that's the front of your left thigh. And then from here, keep this very solid foundation and simply raise the arms. And notice how in raising the arms, no curve comes in the lower back. You're trying again to have the wrists, the elbows and the shoulders in line. Not collapsing everything forward, instead drawing everything in, securing it and being stable. Breathe here. Imagine like you're holding something above your head, palms are active. And then with your next inhale, send the arms out wide, open up the front of the chest. And as you exhale, hug yourself with the arms right elbow on top of left and press out the space between your shoulder blades. Let's take a few more. Inhale, fully expand the arms, expand the chest, and exhale, squeeze in, this time left elbow on top of right. Twice more. Inhale. Nice loud exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale one more time, lift the arms up overhead. And then exhale, place the hands down, slide the right knee back, find tabletop. Let's do the same on the other side. So this time the left leg is going to lift, flex the foot, keep the leg strong and neutralize the pelvis. You can also put your hand on the lower back to check where the hips are in space. Some sense of the inner thighs squeezing, the glutes squeezing. And then bend the knee, open the knee up to the side. Check out what you're doing with the leg by physically looking at it. So sometimes the proprioception is not quite as good as we appear, or as it might appear. And we need to actually look at the body to check that we're doing the right thing. Never be afraid to do that. So notice if the foot is at a strange angle, if the knee is as high up as you can get it. And then again, let's exhale and squeeze the knees towards one another. Float the left leg off the floor. Inhale, send the leg up. And exhale to lower. We'll take a couple more. Move slowly and mindfully with awareness of what you are doing. Press the ground away more. Draw the curve out of the lower back more. Hold the knee up when you get there. Straighten the leg. Hold. Lift the leg as high as you can. Feel the glutes turn on. And then send the leg behind you. Reset a little if you need. This time leg coming into center. Exhale, knee to nose. And inhale, send the leg straight away. No lifting up of the hips. Exhale, knee in. Squeeze, press the ground away. Inhale, send it behind. Exhale again, squeeze in. This time foot can step between the hands. Shuffle yourself forward if you need, and then lift up into this 90-degree angle at the front leg. So backing yourself out of the stretch. Awareness in the lower belly, squeezing of the muscles in the bum. Then the hips can slowly go forward. Notice what you feel in the right thigh. And notice how aligned you can make the spine and the hips. And then send the arms up and don't allow the movement of the arms to ruin that alignment. So imagining again this sense of, holding something between the hands. Palms nice and strong and active. Good, and then again, take a full inhale, open up the arms. And a full exhale to squeeze everything in. Inhale, fully open, expand the chest. Exhale to squeeze. One more time on each side. Inhale, open up. Exhale, round out the back, squeeze and hug yourself. Inhale. Exhale. And then send the arms up overhead one last time. Place the hands either side of the foot, step back, come to kneeling. And then from here, let's move into downward facing dog. Tuck the toes and the hips up. If you need to bend the knees here, you can. I suggest perhaps bending deeply into one and then the other, wriggling out the space at the back of the body. And then feel the pelvis again lift towards the sky. Imagine like your tailbone wants to come in a diagonal line shooting up. And imagine that you can feel the space across your lower back broadening. And from here, let's move forward into plank. Not staying here too long, but same sensation that we had in tabletop of pressing the ground away through the hands, the lower belly drawing in, the legs active. So finding this very strong, secure line with the body. And then let's take a slow exhale and lower all the way to the belly. Good. Untuck the toes when you arrive there. Keep the hands where they are. Think about squeezing the elbows behind you. Press the top of the feet into the mat. And as you inhale, imagine the shoulder blades sliding down the back and allow that to be the thing that peels the chest off the floor. Little or no weight into the hands. Continue to breathe once you're lifted. Slightly take the gaze up. Become aware of the muscles working in the mid-back. Keep pressing the top of the feet down. Keep breathing. And as you exhale, slowly lower. Let's take another low cobra. Inhale. Pull the shoulder blades down. Pull the center of the chest forward. Squeeze the elbows. Press the top of the feet. Breathe. And as you exhale, slowly lower down. Release the hands either side of you. Palms facing up towards the sky. And the feet can be a little bit separated, so maybe at about hip width apart. But as we come up in this, try not to allow the legs to splay away from one another. So keep that hip width distance. Coming into Shalabhasana, locust. So as you inhale, we're going to lift the head, the chest, the arms, the legs, everything off the floor at once. Inhale. And you should really feel the muscles of the back working here. Find a way to evenly breathe. Don't worry if you're rocking a little back and forth. Imagine your toes reaching for the back of the room. The hands also reaching back towards the heels. Slide the collarbones open more. And then exhale, slowly lower down. Rest your right cheek on the floor. We'll take a final round. Chin back to center. Whenever you're ready, inhale, lift up. Engaging the entire back body. This is super important for strengthening, especially in the lower back region. And even though it feels like maybe you're not lifting so far, that does not matter. You're using your active strength to get you there, and that is the thing that's important. Take one more breath. And then exhale, slowly lower down. Rest the left cheek to the mat. Allowing the spine to neutralize. Feeling the belly press into the floor. And then from here we'll meet in child's pose, Balasana. So you can choose to either have the knees apart here or together. And arms can be out front or by your sides, up to you. Just find somewhere comfortable and feel the space across the lower back widening. Coming back to a deep, steady breath. And then let's lift ourselves up so we come through kneeling. Take your sit bones to one side, legs out in front, and come to lie down. With the feet flat on the floor, the knees bent. We'll finish with a reclined pigeon, so you can cross the right ankle above the left knee. Flex the right foot. Flex means toes to the shin. And then thread the hands through either to the back of the left thigh or the left shin. And as you exhale, pull the legs towards you, gentle but firm pressure. Think about the right knee going away from the body. And lengthen out the spine on the mat. What we're looking to experience here is some amount of stretch on the outside of the right hip. It might also feel nice to move a little here, side to side, or wriggle. Notice the areas that feel tight. And then release. Take the other side, left ankle flexing. Thread the hands through to either the back of the thigh or the top of the shin. Perhaps the left elbow can help support the left knee in moving away from the body. Left foot flexed. And then you can slowly release. Take both feet flat on the floor, move the knees a little from side to side. And then in your own time, you can extend each leg. Separate the arms a little from the sides and come to lie in Shavasana. Allowing the jaw to release. Feel the lower back release onto the mat. And allow the body to come into stillness. Enjoy Shavasana. Beginning to lengthen the breath. And just as we began, allowing for that flow of breath, that pattern of movement in the body to start to bring life back into you. Allowing for the breath to move into the fingers and toes. Perhaps starting to circle the joints at the wrists and ankles. If you like, perhaps taking a long stretch overhead and then allowing yourself to curl up on one side. Be heavy for a moment. With the eyes still closed, you can slowly make your way up to a comfortable seat. Pausing for a moment in stillness. Take your right palm and place it on the center of the chest. Place your left palm on top of the right. Send a moment to thank yourself for practicing, for caring for loving your body. And then draw the hands into prayer. Take one full inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. And bring the thumbs to rest at the third eye, the space in between the eyebrows. And we'll finish with a bow in honour of the practice, with love and with gratitude. Namaste.